Hi, Jason. You sure did spice it up. I really enjoyed listening and watching your discussion post. And if teaching doesn't work out, maybe you could look into being a news anchor. All right. Anyways, I really like the situated learning theory that you discussed, and that one kind of stood out to me. I think, everybody has different experiences which all affect aspects of life, especially learning. However, of course, when I was younger, I thought everyone had two parents, everyone went to church on Sundays, and everyone celebrated Christmas. I just thought everyone was raised just like me and had the same exact experiences, but I quickly learned that that was not true. I don't think teachers really apply this theory to instructional design, as it's simple to believe that everyone is raised the same way. And I think it's important for teachers to consider students' past and their experiences when designing and delivering instruction. I know one of the most common examples is, you know, you're you're talking about the beach, but some kids have never been to the beach, so they don't know what it feels like or anything like that. But also, if you're teaching about Georgia history and discussing urban and rural areas, a lot of students may be unfamiliar with this, and they may have never been to an urban or rural area. Therefore, they can't really link that prior knowledge to what you're teaching. So, therefore, teachers shouldn't and can't really assume everyone's prior knowledge or their prior experiences. And that example I just shared kind of reminded me when I was in New York City, I was visiting a school, and the school was located in Inwood, which is in the very tip of Manhattan, like 200th Street. And the day that I went, they were going on a field trip to Times Square, and some of the children had never even been to Times Square. Some of them had never ridden on the subway, which, you know, seems crazy because they live in Manhattan. But I think that's just another simple example that you can't just think, oh, because children live in the suburbs of Atlanta, that means they've been to Atlanta, because that's not always true. Um, but the situated learning theory also reminded me of an experience I had when I was in high school. I volunteered with a special education program at my school, and this kind of got me into teaching special ed. But the children in the program had disabilities, such as Down syndrome or autism. They were very low functioning children. And instead of requiring these kids to um, take tests and pass the test and sit in a desk all day, the educators use the situated learning theory within their teaching. So the students would partake in community events that developed skills they needed to promote their independence. So for example, they would go to Frontera and they'd be required to order meals for themselves, which was teaching them, social skills. And then they would bake really delicious goodies and they would sell them every day at lunch. Um, and so this taught them, how to cook and how to measure, things like that. And then also how to exchange money because they had to do that. So I think I really like the situated learning theory, and I wish we could do that more in schools. And I know this is a theory that I would personally like to apply more in my teaching. Thanks.